Alright, so as always, magsisimula po tayo sa weekly chart ng PSEI para sa ating market overview, no? Now, as we discussed before, ang nangyayari lang naman sa index is we've been trading within this wide range and we have been for quite some time. In fact, since the latter end of 2020, depending on how you want to see it, pwede mo ring sabihin na noong mga October 2020 nagsimula kasi doon nagsimula yung move higher. But we've essentially been stuck in this range for quite some time, no? After natin pag-usapan that we were caught within that range, we acknowledge na yes, may bearishness nga tayo kasi as we can see from yung top end ng range natin, essentially tuloy-tuloy siyang bumaksak at bumaba para balikan yung bottom end ng range. Okay? So, dahil ganon, okay, at dahil hindi nabasag yung lower end ng range natin, what we're looking at still is we're still trapped within the aforementioned range that we discussed. So, ano yung mga potential scenarios na pwede natin tignan based dito sa weekly chart given yung information na yon? Now, unang-una, para sa mga FIBO na fans or FIB fans, nauntog tayo roughly dun sa 50% FIB level, which as you will notice coincides with yung area natin na to, okay, where we expected some type of resistance to occur. Diba? Last time na pinag-usapan natin to 2 weeks ago, ang sabi natin price has come back up to this previous area of lows and we said na baka mauntog tayo din, and so far, yun nga yung nangyari. Last week's candle, okay, more or less tried to push lower, nabitin, lumaban, and then when this week started, we gap lower, and while we tried to fight back, hindi pa rin natin na-fill tong gap na to. Na ano yung mga pwedeng implications nun moving forward? Number one, syempre yung gap na yan would act as some type of resistance in the coming weeks, at there's always the possibility na mag-gap fill tayo and then we run lower. The other is baka partial fill lang yung mangyari and we might see price move lower next week. So ang iniingatan natin within any of those two scenarios is hindi sana mabasag tong 6.5 na to. Kung mabasag yung 6.5, it opens up this lower area nung range natin and we might start trading between 6,080 hanggang 6.5 ulit. And I assume that that would not make a lot of people happy, no? Now, I included a link to an article that a Patreon shared with me na 2022 hasn't really been great para sa markets, not just here, but overall, no? And so far, I think that statement stands true. Diba? 2022 has been more bearish than bullish. And as we can see in the bigger picture, despite all that bearishness, bullishness, what have you, sideways pa rin tayo. Now, what we want to see from here, number one, is maybe magbuo siya ng some type of inverse head and shoulders pattern. And even though I said na it's not as strong when that pattern occurs within a range, it's still something that a lot of people will notice. Plus, it gives us an idea or a foundation na pwede nating sandalan, diba? Na possibly gamitin para mag-form ng trade ideas moving forward. Now, kung mabuo man yon or kung hindi, what we want to see is mabasag etong 61.8% FIB or 6,959 na level. Once we see price above that, or kahit na isara na lang natin if we can start trading above 7,000, it's going to look a lot more bullish, okay, at least in the short term. But even though it's looking more bullish, we need to remind ourselves na, nasa loob pa rin siya ng range na to. So, wag tayong mag-over-expect. Now, kung mabasag nga yung 7,000 and we start moving higher, yung next level of resistance natin will be 7.2, followed by itong cluster of highs na naiwan natin dito from before. Now, ang gawin natin is let's head down to the daily time frame, tapos tignan natin to ulit to see kung meron ba tayong mga karagdagang detalye na pwedeng makita dito sa PSEI. Now, dito sa daily chart, ano ang pwede nating punahin dito sa PSEI? So, dito sa daily chart, mas nagiging obvious tong area na to. Yung importance na mabasag yung 7,000 and the area that we get to play at if that does break. Okay? Meaning, kung mabasag tong 7,000, ma-fill yung gap na to, tumuloy tayo, then highly likely mababalikan tong 7.2. After all, pinakita na ng price that that's what it did here, 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 and so on, no? And if mabasag tong 7.2, tama pa rin yung sinabi natin that we might gravitate towards yung mga highs na naiwan dito. Pero, dito sa daily, nakikita natin na may mga extra levels na hindi natin mapupuna sa higher time frames. First off is itong 6.6. Right now, kung papansinin natin, siya yung nag-act as support dito, support dito, support dyan, support dito, resistance dyan. So it's a pretty decent na inflection zone, no, or inflection level. So dahil doon, mapapansin natin ngayon na price has been dancing around that area pero hindi siya gaano lumalayo. Now, I want to see price start trading firmly above tong 6.6. Kasi kung kunwari mabasag to altogether, meaning we start trading between 6.5 and 6.650, baka hindi magtagal, mabasag tong 6.5 at medyo maging dehado yung itsura ng chart. Yes, yung inverse head and shoulders pattern pwede pa rin mag-form, pero given yung current situation at given yung current bearishness ng karamihan ng tao, baka masyadong mag-overreact yung market on any sign of weakness. So, rather than hoping for a pattern to develop, baka mas maganda from here either shallower yung pullback natin, maybe hanggang mga 6.5 lang, and then we see price moving to the upside na, hopefully breaking 6.9, followed by 6.950, and then 7.2. Or, yun nga, kung magpo-pullback siya ng mas malalim pa, meaning babalikan niya all the way tong 6.4, then I want to see an orderly pullback, perhaps some type of wedge, perhaps some type of bullish flag, pero hindi yung bigla na lang lalagapak ng sobra-sobra. Kasi kapag ganon, baka masyadong magpanic yung market and we might see price pushing lower than what a lot of people would like. Now, I am not saying that that's completely a bad thing, lalo na doon sa mga nag-aabang at particular value areas, no? Yung mga favorite nyong stocks, baka inaabangan nyo sila at certain points. And hindi ko naman sinasabi na dapat hindi nyo naabangan doon. I am just saying na if the market overreacts, be aware lang sa mga pwedeng mangyari. Now, kung kunwari altogether mabasag tong 6,370, which is a level na we've identified dito sa daily chart, or lagay na lang natin sa 6,3 para mas mabilis tandaan. If tuluyang mabasag tong 6.3, then number 1, price would come back to trade within this range beneath ng 6,080 hanggang 6.3. And number 2, any type of bullishness na nakita natin sa move na to, I think would likely be negated na. Maaari na mag-sideways pa rin tayo, but rather than moving towards yung high end ng range natin, baka mag-range tayo dito sa lower portion lang ng chart natin. What that type of range will look like, hindi pa natin alam, no? Kasi hindi pa nangyayari eh. Hindi pa tapos. We are just anticipating na isa yon sa mga pwedeng maging scenarios moving forward dito sa PSEI. Now, kung kunwari sabihin natin, meron na kayong hawak, meron na kayong mga nabili, be sure lang na susundan nyo yung plano nyo para kung sakali mang mangyari ang ayaw natin mangyari, alam nyo ang gagawin nyo. Alam nyo kailan kayo lalabas, alam nyo kailan kayo magte-trim, alam nyo kailan kayo mag-hit ng targets, and so on. Okay? Huwag mag-aatubili, sundin yung plano nyo. I'm sure pinag-isipan nyo naman ng mabuti yan, so stick to it. Okay? So guys, dito po nagtatapos yung video natin, no? I hope nakatulong po to sa inyo kahit konti, and may natutunan kayo kahit papano. And if so, I would really appreciate it if you give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. And as always guys, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!